Hello, hello, hello. Now you may have seen recently on the Sidemen channel, we posted a video called $100 versus $10,000 holiday or the other way around. If you've not seen that video, I would highly recommend watching that first, otherwise this video will make absolutely no sense. But on my Twitter, it's going crazy this week because the feedback on the video has been insane. Now basically, I was the organizer of the video, so I'll quickly give like a quick breakdown of how that works, and then basically on top of the title, this whole video will be like kind of like a behind the scenes of how it was all planned, how it was organised, because a lot of people was actually quite interested, because I guess it's a video that's a bit different than usual. It actually requires a little bit more moving parts and cogs and wheels, etc. It requires a lot of things to go right for you. So, I'll talk about how that all happened. It's kind of just like a more interesting video. I was trying to post more on this channel in the first place, so I thought, you know what? It's a good title, it's a good thumbnail, chance of getting views, and it's also an interesting video, so you get win, 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 win. Anyway, so, Sidemen Sundays, in case you didn't know it already, we post a video on the Sidemen channel every single Sunday, but we've also started posting on the More Sidemen channel every single Saturday. So make sure you subscribe to that channel as well. On top of that, we're in ZerkaaHD, and we are dropping a new collection Saturday, which hopefully when this video goes out is Saturday, but it could be Sunday. So yesterday we dropped something, but hopefully it's Saturday's video went out. So yeah, that'll be down below, ZerkaaHD.London. Anyway, we move on and we go into the key part of the video. So, Sidemen Sundays, typically we have like a little rotor that goes around, and each week, one person is in charge of the video. So we come up with the ideas together as a group, and then one person takes the video, liaises with who's going to film that video, who's editing it, etc. And then the actual uploading process of like the title, the thumbnail, etc, etc, etc. It basically makes it a lot easier for us lot to work in an even amount. So everyone can do a video, we've got a rota, and we got a tally of who's done what video, etc, etc. So that's how that works. I don't know if that's common knowledge or not. I think people do know that, but some people don't. But yeah, so the $10,000 versus $100 holiday have been in our ideas list for quite a while. It finally got chosen. We have a long video idea list of like tons of videos, and we kind of like pick and choose based on like we give them all ratings and stuff. It's a long story, but we have tons of ideas we'll put together as a group, and then we pick and choose as we go. So anyway, this one got picked out, and then I got assigned to doing it, and we decided as a group it was best that if I planned it all and nobody else knew anything, because it then gets you the best possible content. So obviously you can do it like YouTube, and sometimes, as you know, some YouTube videos are staged or faked, or there's like little things, little white lies here and there. This one was the whole point of like, let's make it completely legit, so nobody knows nothing. Is that English? No one knows anything, so they will then give the best reactions when something is put in front of them or they are surprised with something. Okay, that's the basics now out of the way, and we go on to the actual video, the key part that actually matters. So, first off, you need to pick the two teams. So we made like just a blue team and a red team. I just thought that made sense, you know, opposed to like team 1, team 2, just ain't different. Just do it by colour scheme, just seems like an easier thing to do. Anyway, so I wanted to find a random way of choosing each team opposed to me picking it. So I could pick it and I could say, okay, I'm going to put JJ and Ethan on opposing teams, or JJ and Ethan on the same team. Because if JJ and Ethan on the same team, they kind of wind each other up. So I could have tactically put JJ and Ethan on the bad team, knowing that that would create great content, because them two in a bad situation is always funny. A good reference would be Morocco in the Sidemen show.
I'm not. Stop! We're in Marrakesh! La 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 la.
Because they got put together in that, and that part is golden. So I could have faked it and done that. Likewise with my friends, I didn't want to screw anything over and put them in a crap one on purpose, just for content purposes, even though it would be funny. And I guess content does come first at the end of the day. But I decided, you know what, I want to do it legit, and I want to do it in a way where no one can even question how I did it. So I ended up going with the Lucky Will app, which you saw very briefly in the video, but I had the screen recordings if you want to see them, if they want to see them, I had that. That was one reason why I picked it, so I kind of went like some evidence. So if the guys question me, I could go, look, here is the video, tell me something about it. So they couldn't argue against it then, other than the fact they could argue, how many times did I spin it, etc. But the whole screen recording is there, like the point of me scrolling down, pressing record, spinning it for the first time, and then choosing it for the first time, done. So that's how I picked the teams. So luckily, it worked out in the end, because we had Harry, Ethan and Vic, which was a great combo, and Jay Hunter, which again was a great combo. We have JJ and Ethan on opposing teams, which makes great content. Ethan being in a bad place is always funny. Harry was insanely good in that video as well. When Harry has his rant about having 40 million subs and not getting a penthouse, etc. That made great content. And JJ being in a good one was always going to create good content as well, because of like the butters and stuff. So that was very lucky. I got very lucky with that. And an interesting point that I just noted down as well is that I saw a lot of comments and a couple of tweets saying that it was actually a fake video, because if you watch it, you'll see that Simon, Toby and JJ arrived at the car park with suitcases, which is weird, right? Because it's not even planned. They knew nothing. They were told to come meet me at 11 AM at that car park. I booked 2 cars, identical, to leave at 11:30. And I put in a group chat, these are the items you need to bring and pack with you. So like, it's like an overnight stay. I said swimming trunks everyone. I said like a dinner wear and just daytime wear. And that's what I said basically. And your like normal toiletries you could take. So to let them know that they're staying overnight somewhere. And I guess it's just like a character thing. Like Vic always packs really light because he's tiny anyway. Maybe not so much anymore. Good old Vic style 1, 2, 3. And Harry normally does bowl about in a huge suitcase because he travels from Guernsey to London a lot. But surprisingly, he put it in just a backpack. And I guess Ethan had like a hold, like a duffel bag type thing opposed to a suitcase. So yeah, that was quite weird. So I can understand why those comments say that, because when you look back at it, and I guess a lot of you didn't put it in clock onto it. So even proving further in that it's not a fake video, I have now exposed that part of the video to you. Okay, so now the teams I've picked, I now had to secure locations for each one. So let's just go with the cheap team first. We refer to it as cheap team and rich team, or let's refer to cheap team, rich team, or blue team, red team, because I don't think team colours will remind you of what is what. I don't know. Okay, let's go with the $100 team. Let's say the price amount. So start with the $100 team. So for that one, I was scouting around for like Airbnbs or like the cheapest hotels. Now there's that whole trend going around right now, which is like, I stayed in the lowest rated hotel in my city, and this happened. There's that whole trend. So I tried looking for someone that had done it in London, trying to find one of their hotels. I tried finding Airbnbs. I found lots of things like £7 a night, £9 a night. I found hostels. But the issue I had is I had to make sure the guys were safe for one. So I couldn't put them in the ends. I couldn't put them somewhere in London where like they was going to be a chance of being in trouble. Because not only are they going to be in a rough area potentially, they're also filming the whole time with expensive cameras, and being who they are, which is big-headed, but being who they are, there's a chance people will recognise them, and sometimes people who aren't that nice to you because of who you are. So I had to make sure they were in a safe and like kind of like a controlled environment. So I went with a hotel instead. And luckily, through my own video idea list, I stayed in the smallest hotel room in London, and this happened as a video idea for my main channel, for this channel. So you know what, let's just donate that to the blue team or the cheap team, whatever team it is, and looked it up, and luckily there was places available, because I did also explore the chance of them maybe staying on a farm. So Ethan, Vic and Harry, you're lucky, because you could have been on a farm and actually working for the day, because that was one of my ideas. But you know what, we'll save that for another time. So yeah, got 3 rooms booked at the Easy Hotel in Kensington in London, which actually, I'll talk about it a bit later, but it has, the fact in Kensington adds a lot more to it anyway. And then we'll move on into the $10,000 team, and that one was, again, a difficult one. I went for, initially, I was going for like London hotel suites, so like the Ritz, all these like big famous hotels like Mayfair and stuff. And none of them, like, they're obviously great hotel suites, but none of it is just like, wow, obviously it is wow, but it's not like, for a video and content, it wasn't the best, because ultimately, I put them in separate rooms. It's hard to find a suite with 3 bedrooms that are all really nice bedrooms. So I decided to go with the Airbnb option and looked around. I found like 6 or 7 Airbnbs that were like potentially viable. The actual guy who owns if you watched our Sidemen Hide and Seek video, the first one that's like 10 million views, the guy who owns that house owns another house. And he offered his house for it. But we ended up picking up the one that they got in the end. Now obviously that house does not cost $10,000. So it's a bit of a clickbait title there for you. I think it's like 1,000 something per night. There's obviously a lot of added extras that I did to make it a better experience and a more expensive experience. Also, just add on top of that, with the Airbnb, I could get permission to film and do extra things like I did with like the butlers and stuff. Where with the hotel, that wasn't really going to be possible. And some hotels might have even said no to filming, or like in the public areas, they might say, you can film in your own hotel room, but you can't film in the public areas or at the reception desk and stuff. So it just ensured that there was no issues with that for them. So now we then move on into the part of the video after the car park. So organising what happens thereafter once they get in their cars and stuff. What I wanted to do throughout the whole day was, especially at the start, was to create like a roller coaster of emotions. A roller coaster of emotions was how I describe it. So you'll see that the $100 team, this is how the roller coaster went for them. They went like this and like this. And then the $10,000 team did this and then this. They're both completely polar opposites. So the whole aim was, let's say the $100 team, they had the whole ruse of them getting given a Rolls Royce, going to Kensington, which is notoriously a very nice area in London, which is very expensive, to be brought down back to earth when they are pulled up outside of the Easy Hotel. Whereas the $10,000 team, they got taken to a train station and then wasn't booked tickets for them in their envelopes. and they had to then get a cab from the train station when they got to their destination, and that wasn't booked for them again either. So their whole day is kind of starting off badly, because every kind of hint to them in their head is like, well, he's not done this for us, he's not done this for us, we're getting a train, we're going to Slough, and it's not like, that's not a notoriously really super nice area. It's not a bad area, it's not something that's like, oh wow, like Slough. So all those things work perfectly, hence why Ease Hotel being Kensington is so perfect, because it added so much more. Because if they were like driving into like, let's say, I couldn't think of any area, but like Peckham, if they were driving into like any area in London that isn't that great, it wouldn't work as well. Where with this one, it's a like super cheap hotel in a super expensive area. And the funniest and hardest part of that whole process is obviously, so I had the 2 cars waiting for them outside the car park. They're identical, take them away. And I had to ensure they got in the right one, obviously, as well. The hardest part was explaining to the car companies, like imagine trying to book a cab and saying to a cab, I want to go from this location to the same location. Try and explain that to any car company, and it just like doesn't compute. They're like, what do you mean? Like that's okay, that's a £0 fare because you're not going anywhere. Like what, you want to go forward 5 steps? So luckily, the car company I used understood. I explained it was filming and that I would like just them to go round genuinely in a circle for 20 minutes. Give me a little sightseeing tour of Oxford Street and the Mayfair area, and then come back in a circle directly to the same spot within like 15-20 minutes, because I needed enough time for the Rolls Royce to come in straight after they had left. I should have filmed that part. It's one mistake I made. I didn't film myself working through that process. I should have filmed meeting the Rolls Royce guy and driver and organising that whole process, like them guys leaving. So those 2 cars left the car park. And what you don't see is I then call the Rolls Royce driver and say, right, go, come here. And then he parks up and we will be able to wait for the guy to come round. But in the end, it actually worked out super, super well. Like, time on that was impeccable, because I was so like anxious that someone would turn up late for filming. So it's fair play to the guys, they all turn up perfectly on time. I was worried someone would turn up late and that would then delay the whole car process. I had to like ring the Rolls Royce guy whilst the guys were there to say like, yo, it's gonna be a bit later than it was expected to be. That involved a lot of luck and the guys just being on time, basically. So I did like put like a little 10-minute lenience to be late a little bit, but luckily everything went smoothly there and that worked out great. I think Vic was most skeptical out of all of them.
I still think this could be another incredible plot twist where we're still not going.
Hey, look at his face. What do you reckon? Do you reckon he's got a smirk on it?
Harry did his Fortnite dance, which was great content, but Vic was most skeptical, and I think like tried to just cool the most because I understood how my brain works and knows that I'm going to throw in some twists and turns whenever I can. Now, something you don't actually see happen in the video is that I gave them envelope 2. And inside envelope 2 said,
don't be concerned, you're back in the parking bay. Look for a car that JJ can't say.
JJ can't say the words Rolls Royce. It's like Rolls Royce or something. I don't know what he does. Had like a little riddle. And that unfortunately didn't make this video because I was there with the Rolls Royce, and that's the mistake that I made. I should have disappeared. But I guess I kind of wanted to see their reactions. To be honest, I see their reactions. I completely forgot that I shouldn't have been there. The whole point was they would leave, I'd secure the Rolls Royce, have it in place, and then they would just then arrive, and I wouldn't be there. And then have to find Rolls Royce themselves out of excitement. So I don't know actually what works better now, because I kind of look at watching back and I'm like, I see Harry like films me, zooms in my face and says like, oh, he's got a smirk on his face. So I don't know what actually would have worked better. But that was one mistake that I actually made in the video, which you don't actually notice, I guess. I've also just realised while going through my notes here, I think I owe Simon or whoever bought the tickets for the trains money. Or I need to, Sidemen needs to pay Simon or JJ, whoever paid for the actual train tickets, the money, because I think they paid like first class tickets and they didn't get reimbursed for that. But anyway, random one. Moving on, so going through my notes. So going through the whole travel part, and I was just talking about here is like the fact that obviously I got the envelopes just because that allowed me to communicate with the guys at intervals during the day without me having to like track them the whole day and work out what they were doing. And also, I think it's just quite cool. Like, you know, like a scavenger hunt as a kid, like you'd like, they did it. Like you'd go somewhere, you'd find like an envelope or like a clue, and then use that clue to go somewhere else. So kind of like that whole concept, like TV shows and stuff. I think like if we did it again, we'd do that much better. Like much more envelopes, much more clues, much more tricks, much more turns. That was just a cool part. I think the envelopes were cool. Like I said, they didn't get used that much as much as they could have been. But in the future, I'll try and work on making that like even more of a story arc and more like twists and turns through those envelopes and stuff, or anyways communicating with them. So I guess I'll now just cover the 2 guys' days, just going through what was planned, what didn't make it into video, what didn't end up getting planned, what plans went into the place to make it what it was, etc. So the $10,000 team, obviously you'll see they arrive at that point, nothing was planned for them. Obviously, they got the train. All we have to do was find the train time, which was very simple to do. They was going to get there at the right time, so now I could then book everything else. So when they arrived, they'd arrive at a time where other people would be there. So, things we booked. And I say we because obviously I worked not alone on this, I worked with someone else who's behind the scenes for the Sidemen team. I won't mention her name, but shout out to you, you know who you are. So yeah, the teams, they arrive and they are greeted in the most fashionable way possible. They were greeted with a string quartet orchestra, which we booked ourselves. The red carpet we bought and rolled down ourselves, and then obviously the 3 butlers, which aren't actually butlers, right? And none of those things cover the house. They are all just from production companies and stuff like that, and actors. Because obviously, it's hard to say to actual butlers who like I respected to then say to them, oh yeah, I want you to do like the most absurd things, so over the top. Because I want them to be the most over the top butlers as possible. Like always dressing them as sirs or misters, just making them feel like they are like kings of the world. So it's like the finer details, like there's 2 champagnes and apple juice, so Toby doesn't drink alcohol that often or if ever, so go apple juice for that. The orchestra plays as they arrive, they will get taken to their rooms, like you would if you were to go to like a super 5-star hotel, you would get taken to your room by like, what's it? It's more in America, it's like a bellboy? You see it in films, like you know the guys with the white gloves, one of those dunnies. So yeah, they were all great sports, like insanely great sports. I think they outdid what I expect them to do. You'll see in certain clips, and some clips didn't make it into the video anyway, but you'll see there's clips where like the butlers feed the guys grapes, which again wasn't as what I told them to do. I just said obviously just do whatever you can, but I wasn't expecting them to go that far. And even all the guys said that they were really good. Obviously like, he sung when he come down the stairs for dinner. That wasn't planned, I didn't ask for that, but they just got in character and they were insanely good at it. So shout out to you guys, the butlers, you were sick at your job. And you made their videos much better. We quickly cycle through their day activities. So they had a masseuse booked for them. They had a manicurist booked for them. Is that what you call it?
Look how shiny they are. I've never seen them so shiny.
They also was going to have a barber. And that was in my initial plans before I decided the teams. And then the issue with the barbers was there's Simon, Toby and JJ who would all require very different barbers. So I decided against that in the end because it'd just be too confusing to do. And also, what if you don't want a haircut? Like, realistically, most people would want a massage, or at least would try massage. And most people would get a manicure, even if they haven't tried one before, because why not? I mean, I've not had one in my life, but if it was there, why not do it? You might as well. Then obviously they had lunch, afternoon tea, and then a 5-course, well, for the 3-course meal, which was cooked by Sarah, the Sidemen chef, who obviously cooked the food for JJ in his preparation for the Logan Paul and Joella fights. And she worked alongside another chef that she knows. And that meal was insane. And I actually just cheekily got myself in on that meal. So that was well played by me, I think. And also, I obviously had to plan the fact that Simon's vegetarian. So I had a vegetarian option planned for that as well, which obviously she sorted. I mean, all I gotta say is, remember Simon's vegetarian? So I didn't really do much there. So I can't take much credit for that one. On top of that, they then had a cocktail flairer, which prepared pina coladas, because that's Simon's favourite drink for the most part. And you got strawberry daiquiri, which is Jay's favourite drink for the most part. And they had non-alcoholic cocktails as well for Toby. Well, it's not exactly his favourite drink, just because, again, doesn't drink that much alcohol. And also, the other drinks that I'll drink, so I've got rum, I'm primarily a rum drinker. So I've got rum for myself, realistically, so Simon caught on that very quickly, understood what I was doing. But there was loads of things around from my head of like things I could book. I was just trying to find anything I could book for them. I wanted to get like either someone to perform for them. I said, what if like, I get like Jme to turn up and just perform, but it'd be really awkward to do like a 3-person concert or performance. So I was like, maybe not. Magicians, because we have those at Sidemen parties sometimes, they're really good. But I think the magician actually pulled out on us. What else did I have in plans? I was going to try and find an actual house that had tons of land, so I could get them like quad biking or like something like that, or some other activities in a day. Like I did decide if we got one in London, I would take them on like, not I wouldn't take them, but I would get them booked in on like a personal shopping trip where they could spend money on like a dinner outfit in Selfridges. That was one of the plans, but obviously their place was outside London, and it was too long to travel into London and back out of London. I'm trying to think of anything else that I was going to try and get for them, but didn't. I mean, I'm sure there was tons and tons of things that we could have done, or I tried to do and didn't happen. But for the most part, on their team side, everything went to plan. And then we go over to the cheaper team, or $100 team, and their one was a difficult one, because I'd try and find something that was boring, not really boring, but could make things that they wouldn't find that great, but would still make great content. Which is where the open top bus comes from, because I thought it was just great. Like, you get to see the sights of London, so it's a great thing. They can't take off too much because London's a great place. And obviously, tons of tourists will come to London and go on that bus. I'm from London, I've been on that bus myself. It looks like fun, so why not? Let's just do that. I want to try and get them in on like a pottery class or a life drawing class. Something that would just be really awkward. Like, you know, one of the ones where like someone poses naked and you have to sit there and draw them. I wanted to get that for the guys because I thought that'd be such great content. You would never see the person they were drawing, but just having their reactions would have been, I think, insanely funny. But it was so hard, obviously, to get that to happen and booked. And it just didn't happen. And pottery again was hard for me to get booked. It's surprisingly hard to get people to actually be filmed sitting down naked and get drawn by 3 random guys, surprisingly. See, I feel like I could have done better with that team overall, because I've obviously got the Scrabble for the evening, but I feel like, looking from my point of view, from someone who watched it as like where it could have been better, I watch it like their day started off insanely well with the whole Rolls Royce thing, and then that falling down from grace, and then the whole bus tour thing was so funny. The fact it rained was so funny with the ponchos, and like them not eating food properly, and then we'll getting alcohol and getting drunk on the bus was great, and then them even being great sports and buying like the tourist stuff like the London hats and hoodies was great. And from there on in, it's like they had the Scrabble and they had the meal. I feel like we could have done better there. In the future I want to do better in that part, just to make sure that both days are covered the way through, because obviously the good team had like stuff from the point of arrival all the way to bedtime, whereas that team kind of had like after 6 PM it was kind of like go play Scrabble and film content. I remember the plan was actually going to be that I was going to give, in the last envelope they'd have like an envelope 4, which would be like, okay, here is now, like it was like when it's time for dinner, there was like £20 in there, and it's gonna be like, here is your budget to get yourself like a takeaway, like a Chinese takeaway or whatever, a kebab or something. But I think in the end I spent like, I don't even think at the end, in the end I just went, just eat at any local cafe, and we did that little thing, that's a little fake thing where I said like, oh, the table was booked under Kevin, because there was no table booked, that place was empty. We got off the bus and I said go there, because I had to rush off and go to the other team, because I had to travel, to be honest, like an hour and a half travel from the point where you see me outside the cafe where Harry Hammers moans at me, to the point of me getting to the house, like an hour and a half, hour 40 minutes. So I traveled between 2 teams, so I wanted to make sure I got content at both places, or make sure both guys even saw me. And obviously I was being cheeky and making sure that I got myself a nice little dinner. Maybe I should have got myself earlier there really, and got me there for the massage and stuff. But I'm actually glad I did the open bus tour, because that was fun. I just realised I've not even spoken about how I even got on the bus and knew where there was. So luckily Vic shared me his location when he was on the bus. That was super lucky. I did want to try and get on the bus, I didn't know how. So I was eating lunch with Bass, who takes a lot of photos for us. And then I think one of them called me, and I checked where they was on the bus. And I got super, super lucky by the fact that they were heading on the route where I knew one of the stops was by Marble Arch. And luckily they actually got on the bus that was heading that direction. So as soon as I knew that, I was like, right, cool, pack up lunch, we're going. Like, I'm gonna go meet them, because I think it'd be great, like me just bumping into them whilst on the actual bus, opposed to me meeting them after they finished their bus tour. That was the original plan. The original plan was I was going to meet them after the bus tour, and then try and work out something to do with them that could be like boring / cheap. So yeah, that one worked out like that's super lucky that actually happened in the first place. So I think that made that whole bit so much better. The fact that I can like meet them and surprise them, like, hey, like, I'm on the bus as well.
Hey!
You bastard!
It is great!
You fuck!
What was that?
But yeah, I feel like that covers most of the overall behind the scenes and like back end part of the video. Like obviously, I've got a lot of credit. I've got taken a lot of credit. I've received a lot of credit, and like congrats on that video being great, because it's done insanely well on YouTube. Like the response, not only for the fact the views have banged, but the actual likes, dislikes, and the comments and the feedback. But obviously I can't take all the credit, because ultimately, yes, I planned it, but it's the fact that the guys are so great at reacting to things, and the fact that they just were great sports the whole time. Like Harry's rant is so funny, like JJ and all them lot in the big house is like so funny as well. So them reacting to things perfectly how I wanted them to, and them doing exactly what I wanted them to, is what makes the video so much better and makes the video what it is. So I can't take all the credit. I feel like I've taken a bit too much credit for that video, but I guess it makes sense because I introduced it like, hi, I'm Josh and I've organised this video, la la la. But on that topic, is that my topic? Well, I mean, I discussed it in the video. But yeah, because the video has done so well, we are now trying to work on more and more concepts that look like that and feel like that. So if you have any ideas like that, then feel free to comment them down below, or tweet them to me. But yeah, we're going to be doing more of those videos in the future, obviously not super soon, because you need time to plan it. Plus we're very much people who leave gaps between things. You'll see like hide and seek comes out once every like 3-4 months, because otherwise we could spam out hide and seeks once every week and it'd be pointless. It wouldn't be as great anymore. It's simply just about finding like dynamics and things that work really well. Like the game shows work really well for us. This works extremely well for us. Hopefully it works again in the future. The calorie video worked really well for us, like a vlog type, day in the life type video. And obviously we have like other formats we do, like challenge kind of formats. Like the inflatable stuff works really well, slip and slide, football, etc. We're trying to build as many concepts as possible like that we can keep like, kind of churning out and redoing again and again in different ways. So in the video I said that in the future we'll do it internationally, so that hopefully will happen. That's going to be an interesting one to try and plan out. And luckily the guy said that I should do it again. So any twists and turns you've got, suggest them to me privately somehow. I don't know how, just tweet them to me, but try not to tag the guys in it. Well, I've had a lot of comments saying, oh yeah, you should send one team to Syria in a war-torn area and one team to like Hawaii, which again, like I said at the start, how to keep the guys safe? That won't happen, and I probably need to travel between the two teams, so I probably need to be somewhere quite close to each other. But I think that'd be great. I'd love to do a video where I plan it all again. Imagine they turn up at the airport, like they turn up at Gatwick, right? They have no idea where they're going. I've got their passports, I've booked it all for them. They have no idea where they're going, and I need to I could put them in their teams and go, right, here are your boarding passes inside the envelopes. Do not open them until you get to X point where you need to show them. Imagine how good that would be. They just open it up and they go, okay, we are going to Dum. That would be insanely good. They don't know where the other team is going either. So like, for all they know, they're going to the same place, are they going somewhere else? They don't know if that's a good thing. Like I could send one of the teams to a really nice place, but put them in a bad hotel. I could send them to a bad place or not a very well-known place, but put them in an insanely good hotel. And so the twist and turns to do that as well. I think that'd be great. And yeah, we're working on more and more concepts that are similar to it, not only just holidays, but other things that you could do where like there's two teams separated and they don't know what's going on, with like a puppet master like me, so to speak. But yeah, I thought this video would be quite interesting to do. I don't know if it's actually giving you, hopefully giving you some insight into the behind the scenes of the video. I haven't got much behind the scenes content to show you, but I'm speaking it and hopefully I'll put some stuff on the screen for the video to kind of like give you context and stuff. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, leave a like on it as always. I'm going to try and get more and more consistent on this channel, which I can keep saying in a lot of videos. I've got like 5 videos stockpiled right now as I'm recording this one. This one's come out first out of all of them. But I'm trying to stockpile and just get ahead, and I'm going to try and get a good rhythm where I can post this channel often. I want to post this channel a lot more than I do, because I put a lot of effort into my second channel, my gaming channel, and I feel like this one's just been wasted for a long time. I need to turn it around, turn it a nice corner, and put some good videos out on this channel that require some big effort and some big videos. So hopefully they'll come in the future, and hopefully I can stick to that word right there. But yeah, if you're not subscribed already, make sure you are subscribed to the channel, and make sure you smack the bell once you have, to ensure you get notified of videos that I do post in the future. And make sure you're subscribed to both the Sidemen channel, more Sidemen channel, and check out my website, ZerkaaHD.London. Buy something if you like it. It's not merchandise, just to put out there. It's just like a fashionable clothing line that I'm trying to design, get bigger and bigger. So yeah, if you like it and you have any friends who are into streetwear, fashion or anything, link it to them, share it to them, because there's some good stuff on there and we're trying our best to get better and better. So yeah, check it out. Follow us on Zerkaa as well if you want to, if you're out here in Sporting. And I'll see you guys next time anyway. Goodbye.
I'm a Mercus, bare excitement like it's a circus. Wanna see more exciting things? Check my YouTube channel on Zerkaa. If you hear something in my bar you think I didn't even know that I said, boy, better know when I'm on the mic and I speak, better know that I said it on purpose. That's right, I'm a Mercus, saying it again. Pass me a pen. Black shoes gonna make tunes right past them. My moustache turns grey like Ken. Yeah, haters gonna hate, you can't stop them, fam.